Are we? Oh, we are recording. Hey, everybody! Welcome to our Epic Empire weekly team call. It is Wednesday, January 4th, and the new year is here. We are rocking and rolling into January. I know a lot of you guys have had great success with challenge pack sales already in 3 or 4 days into the month, which is kind of crazy. So I hope you guys are enjoying that and getting out there and messaging people, because this honestly has been one of the biggest things I think I've ever experienced with Beachbody, and super simple to talk to somebody about and not scary, and there's no price objection. So if you're intimidated by this, don't be. People are loving it and they are flocking to it. I think all I have to do is just tell them what it is, and they're like, all right, you send me the information, and they buy it, which is awesome. Makes our job a lot easier. But tonight I want to go over how to set goals with your Beachbody business, which is something that I think we all need to continue getting better at. And it's something that, for me, I want to really harness in like the short-term goals, because I'm really good at saying I want to be elite next year, or I want to be, 15-star by the end of the year. But breaking that down is super important. That's kind of how this business works. So I'm glad you guys are here tonight, investing time into your business. So you can go on to the next slide, Ms. Nicola. Delayed reaction. All right, so this weekend is Super Saturday, and it's, this is a picture from our Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia, Maryland coaches. We obviously have a ton more, but I want you guys to make sure you're plugged into a Super Saturday near you, okay? There's a Super Saturday all over the country in all the major cities. I think there's about 190 of them going on, and some of them actually have, Carl Degler, Jeff Hill, they're all over, and all the super trainers are there. So in D.C., we're going to have Joel Freeman, Jesse Reagan, Angie Bellamar, and Craig Kohler. How do you say his last name? I don't know how to say his last name. Craig, sorry if you're watching this. And Craig will be at Super Saturday. So we have, Carl's going to be in Houston. I know that Autumn's going to be in Portland, Oregon. So there's just a ton of Super Saturdays in your area. So go look it up. You can go under events tab and make it a point to be there. There's something really magical and wonderful that happens at these events. You get to meet local coaches in your area along with your team. A lot of times you find your team that you've been interacting with on Facebook, and you're finally face-to-face with them. We'll be working out. Usually you work out either with a master trainer or with one of the celebrity trainers. So it's a great event, and it's also a fantastic event for your coaching business. When you go to an event like this and you're sharing the excitement and the things that you're doing, your credibility in your business goes up. Always be at events, because it definitely shows that you're a part of something bigger than just you. And so make sure you make a point to be at Super Saturday. There's still tickets for sale. At the DC one, I'm surprised that it's not sold out, but it's not. I think Christmas kind of threw it off a little bit. So go get and the VIP is sold out, but go get your tickets. And like I said, if you're not in Northern Virginia, it is okay. They're in Raleigh, they're in Oregon, they're in Delaware, and they're in North Dakota, all over the place. I know that Afton and Lauren and a bunch of other people are going to, and Kelsey are going to the Orlando one. So if you're in Florida, look into that one as well. All right. Take a sip of my coffee because I'm going to be up all night. Whoa. What up? December top recruiting coaches. These are the coaches that recruited the most in the month of December. We have Alex Grimm with 2 coaches. I don't even know this name, so I've got to meet this person. Anita Pilipovic, 2 coaches. Audra Dunleavy, 3 coaches. Cindy Lenga at 4 coaches, and then myself at 4 coaches. So rock on to our top recruiters for December. And then we have December Success Club 5 numbers. If you see your name on here, you should be doing like the happy dance. We have Melanie Etheridge at 5 points, Holiday Garvey at 5 points, Jessica Chamberlain 5 points, Cindy Laninga 5 points, Claire Corbin 6 points, Jessica Rankin 6 points. I don't think is that Melody Rankin? don't think we have a Jessica. Maybe that's Mel. I don't know. Kelly Smith, 6
We have
points.
both.
Oh, we do? Okay. I just know we have, all right. Jessica Rankin, 6 points. Kelly Smith, 6 points. Stacia Longo, I think I'm saying these names right, 6 points. Michelle Funk, 6 points. Kelly Slaughter, 8 points. Elaine Gilbert, 8 points. Audra Dunleavy, 8 points. Marissa Z, 8 points. Lauren Teets, 8 points. Kelsey King, 9 points. And Morgan McCarthy at 9 points. And then in Success Club 10, we have the amazing Kelly King. Well, let's start at the top. Carla Perry at 11 points. Tammy McCullough at 11 points. Afton Rio, 12 points. Rebecca Thompson, 16 points. Kelly King at 19 points. Dun, 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 dun. And Jatana Jackson at 41 points in December. Thank you, All Access. Because you know what? I think it was the day before All Access came out, which was like the 27th or 26th. On Christmas, I had 2 points. So it was crazy. All that was All Access. All right. And for the month of January, y'all, it is only the 4th. We already have names on the board, and we have some people with some incredible numbers 4 days into the month. Amber at Adcock, 1 point. Dina Bauer, 2 points. Kathy Cho, 2 points. Afton Rio, 2 points. Elizabeth Smith, 2 points. Patricia Williams, 2 points. Lauren Teets, 2 points. I feel like I saw her on the previous thing. Oh, no, this is January. Never mind. Melanie Rankin, 2 points. Claire Corbin, 3 points. Lauren Durst, 4 points. Already in Success Club on the 4th day of the month are Courtney King at 5 points. Alex Grimm, 5 points. Rebecca has points.
9 points, I think. Yeah, 5.
Success Club.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Rebecca.
That's okay. Allie Cooper, 6 points. Cindy Langa, 7 points. Myself at 11 points. And Audra, day 4 of January, the first month of the year, Audra Dunleavy at 15 points. That is amazing. Congratulations, Audra. Very awesome. All right. So, wow, we are rocking it. I told you guys, right? October, November, and December would end, and thankfully December we had something awesome come out, so we all kind of got to kick butt in December and not really stress too much about Success Club. And I said this in my personally sponsored page, and I'm going to tell you guys this also. If you hit Success Club in December and you are an Emerald or above coach, you need to go check your back office because you're getting free leads and they are flooding in. It's like they're coming in like crazy. So make sure you check your back office. You're getting free leads, which means you either got just free customer profiles or you have literally straight up commission, like people bought something and you get the commission for it. So what your job is to go find them on social media, get them into your challenge groups. Sometimes I've done things like, this is really ghetto, hoping it's a cell phone number because most people don't have landlines. I will text them, hey girl, or hey Courtney, and then I leave it at that, and they're like, who's this? And then I'm like, hey, it's your coach. I just want to reach out to you. I saw that you bought the All Access Pass. I wanted to get you plugged into my challenge group that starts on the 9th. So look out for free leads because they're coming in. If you hit Success Club in December and you're an Emerald coach, I guarantee you if you go to your back office right now, you have a very high chance of having free leads in there. Now, with that being said, that's not you, January and February are amazing for leads. So if you hit Success Club in January and you're an Emerald coach on Home Direct, you have your before and after picture on your profile. There's like all these little things to make sure you can qualify for Success Club. So if you don't know those things, make sure you go look. I think it's before and after picture or before picture, your bio filled out, Emerald coach on Home Direct, and you hit Success Club, you will qualify for free leads in February. Now remember, All Access is still going on in February. Carl Deichler even has an All Access promo ad that's been rolling on his Facebook page. So it's getting sent out to anybody we all probably have liked Carl Deichler's page, so all of your friends are probably seeing. I actually went and unliked it because I was like, I don't know if I want you sending ads to my friends. But either way, those people that go and click on the link and purchase something or call the 1-800 number, they get put into the system. And if you're in Success Club and you're an Emerald coach in January, in February, you will receive leads. And they are free commission. I think I can average between $70 and $400 a month in free customers. So now's the time to definitely make sure you're one Emerald and in Success Club, because I said it in my personal sponsors, Beachbody makes it rain, Success Club leads. Okay. So it's super important. A few announcements really quick. We are going to do a business opportunity call for all of you guys. You can invite your prospects. We're going to have myself. I think Kelsey has also volunteered. Some of the Diamond leaders who are going to present Beachbody coaching to your prospects. And then at the end, we of course say, whoever invited you this call, you need to reach out to them, because we are starting a training on, February, what is the first Monday, February 6th. And we want to get you in on this training, but we got to get you going now so we can give you your welcome letter and start off your checklist to start coaching right. But that event is going to be in replace of our team call at 9:00 on January 25th. So it's going to, you hear my kid? Hold on. Let me yell at my husband real quick in a really sweet, loving, respectful way. You're a mommy, daddy. But yeah, the 25th of January, business opportunity event, and it will just be us sharing in a really fun, vibrant way about coaching. Okay. So that's a great way for you to invite anybody you've ever talked to about it. Say, hey, you know what? Just come check it out. It's going to be a live video just like this, and we'll have PowerPoint and everything. And we'll try not to make it like creepy salesy or anything. We'll make it fun. All right. So I wanted to talk on this topic, and I started to kind of go over it in my brain, and I was really fumbling over how I wanted to present it. And then I saw a call that Melanie Mitra actually did last week. One of her personally sponsored coaches sent it to me, and I was like, this is great. So I grabbed the video, and I want to watch it together, because there's no point in me like trying to fumble through words that she sounds really good at. And I think it'll be great for you guys. So I'm going to share my screen and pull up that video. I meant to pull it up before the thing came up, so hopefully. Callie sent me her before pictures. Thank you, Callie. All right. And I watched her call, and I was like, dang, I need to do all this stuff that she does here. So hopefully our calls are getting better for you guys with recognition and stuff. The other thing, I'm going to be putting out a calendar for y'all for January that's going to have, or at least we'll add the business opportunity event on there so you can see or at least write it down, but I want to add it to the team calendar as well. So there we go.
The screen share, and I am going to talk to you guys a little bit about goal setting. All right, so that's what our topic of discussion this evening is. And so I don't know, just by a show of hands or just give me some comments, how many of you set goals for 2017? How many of you set goals? How many of you are lost? How many of you are like, I don't know where to start? Setting goals is overwhelming to me, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit. Lost, okay, all right. So lost, okay, so we're going to set goals tonight, and hopefully if you've already set goals, then I can help you even refine them a little bit more, because that's what I'm going to do. And I've got lots of notes for you guys, so let's get ready to go. So here's the thing, guys. When you begin your goal setting process, right? Julia, here's the thing. If you're overwhelmed, maybe, I don't know if you have an organizational system for keeping track of your challengers, maybe an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Doc, or it might be time to hire an assistant. Might be, Julia, something you want to consider, somebody that can sort of help you and schedule your posts. So anyways, that's just a thought. Anyways, that's for another call, but I just was throwing that out there right now. All right, so the first thing that we do when we set goals, the first thing I did in December. So I actually have been thinking about what my goals are going to be for 2017 for quite some time. I've really had to step back and say, what do I want my life to look like? And so that's the first thing that you want. We want to think broad and big picture initially, because we need to be able to sort of cut it down to where we want to get it to. All right. So first and foremost, what is your 1 year vision? And this means that you take out a sheet of paper or you take out your planner and you just sit down and you say to yourself, what do I want to be a year from now? Where do I want to be 3 to 5 years from now? What do you aspire to accomplish? And what are the things that you want to have? What are the things you want to do? Where do you want to be in your life? And what is most important to you? Physically, emotionally, spiritually, relationship-based, in your business, in your personality, right? You know, where do you want to be? How much free time do you want to have? What do you want to do with your free time? Do you desire a certain amount of income? I think everybody's different. Some people desire to be billionaires, and some people desire to live comfortably, right? And bare minimum. And everybody is different. I want you to write everything that you can think of, on a sheet of paper, everything. Because it's important for you to say to yourself, what do I really want? And it's not just in the next 12 months. I want you to think like long term, for the rest of my life. Where do I envision my life 3 to 5 years from now? And I want you, like, really, what do you desire? And I don't want you to compare yourself to what your coach has. I want you to ask yourself, does this fulfill me? Does this fulfill me? Because that is really important. And when I think about my first year in my business, the first time I made a goal board, all I wanted to do was help 50 people, transform 50 people's lives. Because if I knew that if I did that, then it was going to help me to make all the other goals on my goal board happen, like the income goals and the rent goals and the recognition goals. That's why in January, that's why customers are so important. That's why the focus of your business needs to be customer based, because income and future coaches and team growth will come from you being excellent at providing the quality of support to your customers. I can't promise you how fast or how slow that's going to happen, but I can promise you you will make an income because you are making that sort of an impact, right? All right, so I want you to think about it. What's it going to look like? What do you want to achieve in your business? That's where I want you to start, all right? So that is your first focus. Do you want to go on the Success Club trip? Do you want to attend church more? Do you want to spend more quality time with your family? Do you want to quit a full-time job or a part-time job? Do you want to work forever? Is this just supplemental? You know, what do you want to speak on stage someday? Do you want to write a blog? I mean, everything and anything that your heart desires, I want you to think about it. All right? Now, here is a problem that people have when they're creating a vision for themselves. They don't take it seriously. Don't just sit here and write a few things on a sheet of paper and be like, done, I'm going to make a vision. You know, I'm fine. I don't need to do that exercise. Because you know what happens is 6 months from now, you're going to say, I don't really know why I like coaching. I don't really know why I'm doing this business. This is work. And I don't know why I'm actually doing this. And if the vision isn't meaningful to you, like if you're trying to adopt my vision or Sarah's vision or Jessica's vision, because you don't really know who you are, when the going gets tough, your vision will hold no meaning and significance to you. So it will be really easy for you to say, I don't really care about that anyways. I'm just going to go back to my old ways because that was easier than building this business, right? Also, if your vision is too small and you're not challenging yourself, it's just going to be something you tuck away in your drawer and you never look at again because you just know you're going to do it anyways. You didn't really challenge yourself outside of the box. So we need to make sure we're focused on how do I challenge myself to kind of raise the bar. And then lastly, make sure that as we're going through this and as you're thinking about your big goals, that you're connecting your vision with your daily actions. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But so often, people set goals for themselves, like I want to be, I want to be a 2-star diamond, but then they go and get a part-time job. They stop devoting their time in their business. They start teaching live classes. They decide they're going to do a bikini competition. They decide they're going to volunteer at school, but their goal is still to be a 2-star diamond, but now they've cut out all their Beachbody work time. And so if you have this vision and this goal of where you want to go, but your daily actions aren't in line, then you're not going to reach that goal. And that's something else we're going to talk about tonight too. All right? So hopefully this is getting your wheels turning. Now, here's what we want to do. I want you to sit down. I want you just to write this out. The next thing that we need to do is we can't just have this big vision of where we want to be a year from now. We can't just have this big vision of what we want to accomplish in 2017, right? And don't put on your goal board, I want to be an elite coach, or I want to be a premier coach, if you don't know what it means. I think that's another thing. Don't put, I want to be a diamond coach tomorrow if you don't know what it means to get to diamond. It has to have significance to you. Why do you want to get there? What is it going to take to reach that goal? How many people do I need to sign up? How many people do I need to talk to get to that goal? So these goals need to be thought out so that they make sense to you and you understand why you're going for the goal that you're going towards. Now what we want to do is we want to break it down. So it's time to really set our goals into, how many of you guys have read the 12-week year? I'm going to actually suggest that this be one of the personal development books that you read throughout the first quarter. So January through March, at some point, I want you guys to read the 12-week year, because this is how I've set my goals for my business this year. I have only really thought about January to March. January to March is what I'm focused on right now. I know what the end result is going to look like at the end of the year. I know what my big vision for my life is. But what am I needing to do just now, between now and March? What would be my goal that is going to help me get to the bigger goals of the end of the year? So, for example, here's what we're going to do. Let's take, I want to be diamond, and actually I'm going to ask you guys to give me a goal. So somebody think about a goal that they want to do between now and March. So, and I'll pick one from the comments. Let's say you want to be diamond by the end of March. What would a 12-week goal look like for that? So let's take that and let's break that down. We know that being a diamond coach means that you have 4 coaches on the left, 4 coaches on the right. We know that you need to have an emerald coach on each side. All right? That's what it means to be diamond. Now, what are the action steps going to be to get there? So when you're breaking down your goals, you're saying to yourself, I want to be diamond by March. I know that I need to have a total of 8 coaches, and I need to have 2 emeralds within those 8. So how am I going to get there? And then you begin to have subtasks, and you say to yourself, if I want to, get to diamond, I need to, how am I going to find coaches? All right, I need to get as many customers into my challenge groups. So I'm not going to run just 1 challenge group. I'm going to run 2. I'm not just going to go for Success Club 5. I'm going to go for 10, because that's going to increase my probability of helping people to get results. Those are more potential people that will become coaches because they will have success, and then I can invite those people to become coaches. Also, if you say to yourself, okay, I need to make sure also in order to get to diamond, I'm expanding my market, because eventually I'm going to run out. Another subtask to that would be how many people you're going to invite per week. So then you break that down and you say, okay, in order to get to diamond, I need to at least expand my market by 20 people every week. So I got to add 20 friends. I got to start conversations. So do you see how this is breaking it down? Right? So for example, help 50 people with their health and fitness in the next 3 months. If you take 50 divided by 3, what is that? 50 divided by 3, that's how many people per month or on average Alyssa's going to need to help. Now she needs to say to herself, where am I going to find these people? And so it's got to come from advertising on social media, her 3 to 5 posts. It's got to come from direct invites, sending out her invites. It's got to come from her follow-ups. It has to come from her presence. Again, she's going to have to devote time to that business. All right? So as you're setting goals for yourself, you're taking a big goal and we're going to work on breaking it down. All right, Julia, working on helping at least 2 coaches advance to diamond by the end of March. Now, that's a little more difficult because you're putting your goals in the hands of somebody else. It's much harder to control that. So here's what maybe I would focus on in that case. I would say, okay, I know that I have a list of people that want to be diamond. I have a handful of people. And so I am going to, number 1, make sure it's their priority to be diamond. Then I'm going to put them in a pod or a success pod, and I'm going to work with them. And you're going to list out, maybe call topics Maybe you're going to say, okay, I'm going to set up one-on-one calls with each of those people for the next 3 months to help them get there. You know, what are the extra incentives or things that I can do to help those? So you're going to say, what are the behaviors that are going to help me to get to the goal? And that's what you're going to begin to break down. So everybody should, you know, do your big vision, and then I want you to take one goal, and I want you to put it on the top of a separate sheet of paper. I want you to say, okay, my goal is to help 50 people over the next 3 months. And then I want you to break it down to your subtasks of what you need to do. What are the actual behaviors that you need to get there? And then from that point forward, then you break it down even further and you look at your calendar and you say, if my goal is to help, 20 people this month, I need to have challenge groups, start dates, set up. I need to start inviting. I need to follow up. I need to have good social media. I have to ask for referrals. That begins to dictate your daily behavior. Make sense? That makes sense so far, guys? All right. Okay, so, and yes, that's also, you need to put in your coach recruitment goals to increase your diamonds to help develop as well too. So Julia, yes, that obviously is another part to that as well. So if we kind of move on to that, the other thing too I have is here.
Socks out here you have.
Another question is, where are you going to find these coaches? The more challengers that I get into my challenge group in January, the more success stories, the more people I have to transition over to coaches. The more I am consistent on social media 3 times a day, the more likely people will begin to build a natural trust with me. And that was something that I wrote down in my notes for you guys. All right, so here's the thing. We need to take each one of our goals and we need to classify them just like that. So you take, I want to be, I want to make X amount of money, right? And you think about how many challenge packs do I need to sell. You can almost do this with, and you shouldn't have 20 goals. Only pick the most important goals. And we're just looking at the first quarter of your business, all right? Just the first quarter. A good plan fosters solid execution. Here's the thing, and let's sort of stop there. You can't get in the car with shitty directions. You can't get in a car and drive across country and somebody say to you, just drive east, right? Or just drive west until you hit the coast. Because that is crappy directions. You have to get in with a navigation that is going to tell you to turn left here and turn right there. Otherwise, you are going to spend all this time on detours and turning around, and you're going to waste time. And so you have to have a good plan. So many people just wake up in the morning and they're like, I don't have time to plan. I just need to get to work. And they don't take the step to make sure that they're actually planning out their goals. Or people create a plan, but it has bad directions, right? You're missing steps. So we need to make sure you have an effective plan. And if you stink at making an effective plan, this is where you need to create the vision. You need to write it out. You need to write out your goals. And then you need to go to your sponsor coach or your upline sponsor coach. And you need to share that with them and ask questions and talk it out. Because I can't tell you how many times once I started talking out my goals, that I was like, I see what I'm going to do. Or maybe I've bit off more than I can chew. And this goal is not in line with my priorities. All right? Because how many times have I said to myself, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and there are these big, really awesome goals, but then when I sit down and I really think about how much time I'm going to need to devote to it, I've changed the goal. And I said, this is going to take too much time away from my number one priority, and my number one priority is my family. And so I have been able to say, I am willing to take my time and go slow and steady and build my business at a different rate of speed because I'm going to honor that priority in my life. So keep that in mind as you're going through this. It's great to set big goals, but if at the end of the year you don't feel fulfilled by the goal and it doesn't bring you joy and a sense of purpose, then was it really worth it in the first place? No, it really wasn't. All right? Okay, so now let's talk about goal setting too. So let's just say, for example, we're setting our goals. The number one thing as you guys are creating your vision and you're writing out your goals is they need to be specific and measurable. So when you write a goal, you want to say, can I quantify and qualify this goal? So I want to build my social media in 2017. that is not specific or measurable. But if you say, I want to grow my Instagram following by 10,000 followers in 2017, that is measurable. I'm going to post more on social media. That is not measurable. But if you say, I'm going to post 5 times a day on social media, I can go to your Facebook page and I can say, yes, 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 yes. All right, done. She checked that off the box. I'm going to invite more people to my challenge groups, or I'm going to run more effective challenge groups. That does not mean anything. You can say, I'm going to invite 20 people a week to my challenge groups. All right, so you want to begin to set goals that are specific and measurable that we can track. The next thing is they need to be realistic. So, but they also need to be a stretch. If you can accomplish a goal without doing anything different, then you need to stretch yourself a little bit more. If it is impossible, then you need to step back a little bit. If your goal is so big that it discourages you, you're going to be self-defeated before you ever get started. So again, don't set these lofty goals because you think that's what you should do because that's what everybody else is doing. Set goals because it's what you want to do and you understand what the goal is. All right? For example, I wrote a little example down here. I want to be a 2-star by March, but you've never hit Success Club or run a successful challenge group. Somebody that puts that goal on their goal board, sure, they might be able to do it. It's highly unlikely because your track record hasn't been consistent, but hey, you can prove me wrong, and anybody can prove me wrong by saying, all right, today's the day I changed, and I'm never looking back, and I will never miss Success Club, and I will accomplish that goal, right? So you want to look at yourself, but if you would say to yourself, okay, but I can be a diamond coach by March, I'm hitting Success Club consistently, and I'm adding 2 coaches a month, and I'm really working on running successful challenges. That is a more realistic and achievable goal. Does that make sense? Especially if you're a brand new coach on this call right now, your main goal is to help people achieve a healthy and fulfilling lives, to enroll challengers in challenge groups and hit Success Club 5 or 10 every single month to keep your customers on Shakeology. That's something you can track. You can track your track record with customer retention. You can transition 2 new people into coaching every month. That is realistic and achievable, and slow and steady wins the race, right? Shannon, is it better for an emerald to set a goal for diamond for March? No. Shannon, it is what is realistic for you, I think, is what we need to, what you need to ask yourself. So, diamond isn't overwhelming when you break it down and you say, okay, if I can sign up 2 coaches every single month or 3 coaches every single month, then you'll get closer. But focus on customers first. Focus on getting customers results, because when customers get results and they're engaged in challenge groups, they're natural advocates. And what you might end up seeing is that the diamond goal begins to happen faster because you're helping people get results. So yes, the more people you help, the higher your probability is. And I will tell you, I've always set my bar at Success Club 10. I just always have, because I wanted to have more people to pull from. That was just the way that I worked. All right. State them in a positive way. Guys, how many of you always start out and you say, I hope that I am a diamond coach by March, or I think I can be a diamond. I am a diamond coach on March 31st, 2017. I am going to be a rockin' elite coach in 2017. I am going to, whatever that you're going to do, create a premium that helps people meal plan, right? So when you are setting goals, you want to speak about them in a pop. Own them. They are yours. You are excited about them. You are passionate about the goal you set. Do not set a goal because you think that's what Beachbody wants you to set. Set a goal because it's what you want to do in your life. All right? Okay. The third one is, or fourth one is, be accountable. So I know that that accountability is key, and finding a success partner is hard. But I encourage you guys to find a success pod. I encourage you to find somebody. It can be a spouse, a best friend, a significant other, but somebody that you share your goals with. Because if you don't share them publicly with somebody, doesn't have to be on social media, but share it somewhere, you need somebody to hold you accountable. Because when you have somebody to hold you accountable and you have a weekly check-in or a report in or a monthly meeting, when you go to somebody and you say, I didn't make any progress towards my goals, you're much more likely to say, I never got a meeting with this person. I want to uphold my duties, so I need to stay accountable. So tell somebody what your goals are. Be accountable. Also, be time-bound. Like we're setting a deadline, end of March. Then you're going to have more goals that are going to be the end of July. And then you're going to have end of September, October, and then end of year. So these goals are timely. We have 12-week goals. We have 1-month goals. So what's January going to look like? What is this week going to look like? You want to start working on these goals right now at this specific moment. For example, I said I was going to have X amount of followers on my like page by March 31st. I said I was going to sign up 2 coaches per month by March 31st. If I accomplish this goal, then I will buy myself a new pair of Lululemon pants. Celebrate the goal once it happens. Celebrate the milestones along the way, big or small. Doesn't have to be a Beachbody celebrated rank. It can literally be something that you say, I finally was consistent at inviting 20 people a week or a month. I am buying myself, new hand cream. I don't know, a new candle at Yankee Candle. There's a candle on my desk. That's where that came from, right? But celebrate, guys. We get so wrapped up into on to the next. It's never good enough. So I got to move on to the next goal. Stop and celebrate the moment too. All right? Okay, so here's the bottom line, guys. A good plan is better than a good plan today. Sorry, I'm butchering this. Is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. So where's my perfectionist at? Where are you at? I know you're out there, and I know you're thinking to yourself, until I have the perfect planner, until I know exactly what my entire year is going to look like, and I have it all outlined and pretty and color-coded, I can't start my business. That's bullshit. You need to take action right freaking now. A good plan is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. So as you're creating this plan, you need to be implementing. You need to be running challenge groups. You need to be posting on social media consistently. You have to be tracking your business. I am not a perfectionist. I am going forward, and I will figure it out along the way. And unfortunately, as an entrepreneur, part of you has to be willing to try a million different things to find what works the best. And you plan as you go, and you tweak and you change. And it is okay if on March 1st you say to yourself, I don't want to do that goal anymore, because that doesn't fill me or bring me joy. And it's not because I think I'm going to fail at that goal. It's because it truly doesn't bring me joy. I'm changing the goal. And that is okay. That is A-okay. And I want you to give yourself permission to do just that. But you have to take that step forward. You can't just spend the entire month of January planning, because you have wasted time that you've lost in building your dreams. All right? You have to get out there and get going. Don't overanalyze the content. Don't be concerned if it's not perfect. There are no perfect plans. All right? Gotta do it. You gotta do it. All right, so let's talk about a goal here. We talked about, what do we want to talk about? Let's talk about 50. We need to get 50 challengers. I'm going to help 50 people get results by March 31st. So here's the next thing that we want to do, guys. I want you guys to, in the comments below, if our big goal was to help transform 50 people's lives, what would be the highest priority steps that we need to do to get there, daily and weekly? Let's brainstorm. Let's do it. We're going to help 50 people by March 29th. Be more specific. Invite. Invite what? So our highest priority steps. Invite what else? Invite 5 people per day. Engage in Facebook special interest groups to grow network. All right. How are you going to track that? Are you going to have a specific amount per day? Run challenge groups? Are you going to run one challenge group? Do you think one challenge group would be enough to get 50 people? Or would you have to run more than one per month? Relationship building, right? Comment authentically on 10 new people's pages a day. Invite 10 to 15 a day. Post 3 to 5 posts, more than one group, right? I would think inviting at least 10 people per day, 2 challenge groups for 2 of the months, right? Post 5 times a day and value content, right? I have to discipline myself on tracking. All right, so we're writing out the priorities, the highest priority steps that are going to get there each day. So if you guys notice what people are commenting, it is not create a blog. It is not redo my website. It is not create a pretty banner. It is, what is it? What are the things that we're asking people to do? It is new conversations. It is connecting. It is adding new friends to Facebook. It is posting on social media. It's being a product of the product. It is sharing transformations. So these are the highest priority goals that we need. These are the things that we need to do in order to help 50 people. So then when we're looking at that, we want to say to ourselves, all right, out of these things, what are going to be the obstacles? What are going to be the struggles? Now, you guys tell me, what are going to be the struggles and the obstacles with helping 50 people in the next 3 months? The struggles and the obstacles to helping 50 people in the next 3 months. What is that going to look like? People saying no, you're going to get objections. Staying consistent. People ignoring your messages, finding enough people. Those are going to be your obstacles, right? Time management, work in your business. Kids are going to get sick. Things are going to happen. Vacations, kids are going to be off school. There could be a snow day in there. You could get sick. You could get an injury, right? Not getting discouraged when people say no. So, right, and then how are you going to overcome that? How are you going to overcome the obstacles? Okay, when somebody tells me no, I'm going to say to myself, it's no, not ever. It's just no, not right now. I'm going to prove to them that I'm here for the long haul. I'm going to stay consistent in my social media. If they say no now, I guarantee they're going to come back around, right? Let's think about other things. Oh, if I'm going to travel for work, I know that I travel Monday through Thursday this week. So on Sunday, I am not going to go to happy hour. I am going to stay home and schedule my post for the week or I'm going to do all of my invites on Sunday because I don't know what the rest of my schedule is going to look like, right? So if there are obstacles, we know that we can find a way around them. Kids are going to get sick. Life is going to happen, but we have to take our calendar and look at it a week at a time. Not looking at every week is going to be exactly the same, but being flexible enough to say, my goal is to help 50 people in the next 3 months, and I have to constantly be saying to myself, how do I make this happen? How do I find these holes and these gaps in my week to make sure that I'm inviting 10 people a week, that I'm posting 3 to 5 times a day, that I'm being authentic on my social media, that I'm following up with customers, that I'm tracking it and I'm keeping track of it. And I'm doing my personal development because the going is going to get tough. And I have to remember that that is a part of building a business. All right. So as we're going through this, guys, here are just some common pitfalls, guys, that are going to keep you from reaching these goals. You're going to go through this process. You're going to get off this call tonight. You are going to set these great goals for yourself, and I actually encourage you to do it and share it with your coach as soon as possible, right? Here's the thing. If your vision is to have a balanced life, but you're spending your days, you want to be spending the days with your kids, and you want to have this balance. You want to spend your time with your kids. You don't want to overwork. You don't want to work 60 hours a week. That's not what you envision your life to look like. Don't set your goal to be an elite 10 coach, right? If you want to live, you want to make sure that your goals are in line with your vision. That is important, guys. That is important. Number 2, stay focused. That's a reason why people, I promise you, on January, 31st of this month, I promise you, 50% of you will have given up on your goals. You will not have stayed focused. You will see a shiny object. You will be over there. Your goals will be tucked in your drawer. And some of you may not even be coaches anymore because you're not staying focused. Focus is critical. If you want to be a diamond coach, but you are, like I said at the beginning, you're over here volunteering and you decided to do a bikini competition and you decided that, you're not going to drink Shakeology anymore. You're going to try something else. And, and you're not devoting the time in your business to doing those things that we just made a list of, you're not going to reach the goal. So we all have the same 24 hours in a day. We have to pick and choose where we're going to spend our time. One of the biggest things in my business was I was willing to delay instant gratification for long-term success. That meant I was willing to delay watching TV at night. That was where it came from. I was willing to delay a little bit of extra sleep. I was willing to delay a little bit of extra free time in order to build a solid foundation for my business so that I could have the future success and the freedom that I wanted. I had the focus. I had the vision. I had it on my goal board. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew what made me feel fulfilled, and that was where I was going, and I kept that vision in front of me. So when the going got tough, I looked at that vision statement, I looked at my goals on my goal board, and I said, I want those goals more than I want this instant gratification over here. And I was able to pull myself back in and get focused. That doesn't mean I didn't have bad days. That doesn't mean that I didn't have lulls in my business. That doesn't mean I didn't fail and I didn't have roadblocks, but I kept my eye on the vision and I never took my eye off it. I changed it when it needed to be changed, but I was willing to delay instant gratification versus long-term success. The next one is reasons why people don't reach their goals. They're not willing to make the tough choices. I'm not going to drink a bottle of wine tonight because I got to do my follow-ups, but maybe you're better with a bottle of wine. I'm not. I will fall asleep. That's just how it's going to work, right? Or I'm not going to volunteer all of my time at my kid's school, or, I'm not going to take on this committee at church because I want to reach this goal. Or, you can either do it or you cannot. It's up to you. You can either be fearful and not invite because you're afraid of what somebody can say, or you can make the tough choice to take the bull by the horns and put yourself out there. If you want to build a business, you're going to have to invite to the business opportunity. People are not going to come to you. You have to make the tough choice to make the sacrifice to move in the direction of the goal that you are hoping to achieve. The other thing is they don't keep it simple. You guys make things way too complex. Keep it simple. Keep your goals simple, and you'll be much more likely to stick with it. Make it meaningful. Again, we've already talked about that. So here's the thing, guys. Last thing on here that I want to talk to you guys about, I promise we won't go too much longer, is tracking. This is essential to your business. Now, some people track because they don't want to know if they're failing. Some people abandon their business after 2 weeks because when they're tracking it, the numbers don't look good. It's just like my mom and I were talking tonight, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure she's on this call, and she was telling me about how she got together with her friends, right? And they all got Fitbits for Christmas, and everybody was talking about their Fitbits. And there was this one friend who was like poo-pooing on Fitbits, and she's like, you don't need a Fitbit. She's like, just track your steps on your phone. After about a week, you'll know what you average for steps. You don't need to track that all the time. But that's just like our business. How often do we say to ourselves, I don't need to track. I know I'm doing good. I know I'm inviting. I know I'm adding to my contact list. But are you actually doing enough? Like, are you actually doing the behaviors consistent enough to produce results? Because honestly, that little millimeter shift in your business of tracking and being mindful and reflecting and looking back each week and challenging yourself to raise the bar and do a little bit more could honestly be the difference between you reaching the goal and falling just a little bit short of getting there. And I promise you, coming up with your own tracking system, if it's tally marks on a piece of paper, or it's reminders in your phone, or it's a Google spreadsheet, again, stop overthinking it and trying to have the perfect tracking system. Just track your business. Track the things that you are trying to accomplish to help you get there. And don't be afraid of failing. Also, so often we look at the end result. We look at the goal of getting to diamond as the indicator that we're going to measure success, but look at the action steps. These are the action steps, things you do on a daily basis. Those are actually the most important things that you want to focus on. It is the consistency over time. When people ask me, Melanie, what brought you success? Consistency, 3 to 5 times a day, 365 days out of the year, 5.5 years. Blogging 3 times a week, 365 or whatever, 52 weeks out of the year, 5 years. That consistency over time of adding value eventually produces results. I never gave up. I never lost sight of my vision. My goal is to help people achieve healthy and fulfilling lives, to put content out there that adds value, and eventually they found me because repetition over time with a clear vision got me in that direction. Yes, I got defeated, but no, I never stopped. And you know how I tracked it? By views on my blog, by views on my Facebook page, by the number of challengers I got in the challenge, by how successful that group was. That was how I figured it out. All right, so last but not least, guys, we really need to focus more on our actions than the results. Your outcomes are driven by your actions. So it's not about setting these big, lofty goals. It's actually about what you're doing on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis that is going to bring you closer to the goal. Have a planning session with yourself every single week, every Sunday, every Monday, whatever day it's going to be, where you reflect on last week. You evaluate, you give yourself a gut check of what you did good and what you didn't do good. Then you set your intentions for the next week. What is my top 3 priorities for the week? Not my top 20 priorities, but 3. What 3 things can I master really well? What 3 things are going to bring me closer to the end results? And then you schedule your business hours. You decide what you're going to sacrifice because, again, you all got the same 24 hours in a day. You either choose to do it or you don't because the goal is driving you. It is pulling you forward because you are passionate about the goal, right? And then you get to work on your goals and you make those decisions. And then at the end of March, we celebrate. We celebrate where we've come along the way, and then we set goals again. And we keep going every quarter of the year until at the end you look back and you have accomplished everything on that vision board, everything that you wanted to do, or 80% of it. And if you didn't accomplish that goal, I really, really promise you that you will eventually accomplish it all unless your vision changes. I promise you, and that is exactly what happened to me in our whole one of my old my vision board calls that I did where I showed my vision board and then I showed you how many goals I didn't accomplish. But you know what? Because I kept going and I kept my eye on that vision and on that prize, I accomplished all of those goals within a year of initially setting them. I believe in this process. I wouldn't train on it. I wouldn't teach it. And if you're a brand new coach, keep it basic, keep it easy. I promise you it will make all of the difference. I don't have my goal board in front of me right now. It's actually downstairs in our storage room. Otherwise, I would show it to you. I would show you my original one, but I will share with you that call so you guys can see it. All right? So yes, leading by example, being a product of the product, and raising the bar. I can leave you with one more thing. It's raising the bar. It's always saying to yourself, what can I do to sort of elevate myself, to stand out amongst the other Beachbody coaches? And, when I was building my business, there was not a lot of social media training. There was no coach training out there. And so Google was my best friend. And I watched what other entrepreneurs did. I watched what other Beachbody coaches did. And that was how I began to create. That's how I grew. That's how I found out what people like. That's how I found my niche. Everything that you need to succeed is at your fingertips. It is whether or not you choose to go out there and utilize the resources that are on the internet, on YouTube. Like, there is so much free stuff. You never have to pay for anything. You can find everything you need to build your business and crush it. So here's the thing, guys. As we follow up and we end this call tonight, here is the thing that I want you to do. I want you to set goals. I want you to remember to be specific, be timely, make sure they're measurable, make sure that they're challenging you in the right direction, make sure that you understand what the goals are, and then you need to share them with your upline. So everybody should be emailing or messaging their upline with their goals and be having a conversation about how you are going to get there. Then stay plugged in. Get on the team calls. Make sure you're at Super Saturday. Go to Summit. Make the sacrifice. Save up all your pennies. Set aside a fund so you can go to Summit. You can go to Super Saturday. You can go on the Success Club trip. Immerse yourself in the business, because it's when you do those things, when you go all in. This is not a 1 foot in, 1 foot out. When you jump both feet in and you say there's no plan B, or I am going forward with this no matter what, I guarantee you, you will be successful. All right, guys, it's go time. Can't wait to see your goals. I'd love to see them. Share it with your coach. I will get this recording up and ready for you guys. I hope this was helpful for you guys. And if you're coming to Super Saturday this week,
All right. I hope that you guys took a lot of notes. I know that I have already watched it twice, so I was like trying to absorb everything. I hope that was encouraging to you. If you can, go write something that you learned in Epic Empire on the wall so other people can know to watch this recording. And sit down and do what she said. Write out the goals. The recording will be there if you need to rewatch it and you're like, wait, what time, what 12-week year? Go read it because that's where she's drawing all of her content from. And I hope you can set the goals for 3 months, the next 3 months, and create actions that'll help you reach your goal. Not my goal, not what, like she said, not a lead or whatever Beachbody claims is like fame, but what you want out of this business. Because when you set it for what you want, the times where you get frustrated, it won't be, well, Tatiana just really wants me to go diamond. Now I'm just frustrated with myself and I just want to quit. Okay, it's got to be what you want, because when you fail, you're not going to have that tension inside of you. It's going to be your goal. So I love you guys. I am going to go to bed now. I hope you have an amazing night, and I will see you guys this Saturday, most of you guys, at Super Saturday. And if you're not in DC, have fun at your local Super Saturday. Good night, guys. Bye.